Hello children, in this session we will continue the same chapter, electric current and its effects. In the previous session we were talking about the electric circuit. The electric circuit, it is a path, a closed path along which electric current flows through many of the appliances which are connected together. And there are two types of electric circuit, closed circuit and open circuit. In the closed circuit, the path is continuous, so the electric current flows. In the open circuit, no current flows, right? And in this circuit, we connected three components: a cell, switch and a bulb. Three components were connected together. Suppose we take the same thing, that a cell and the switch. Now the switch is kept open. These things are connected across a bulb. This is the bulb. I draw the symbolic diagram, symbolic circuit diagram. Always you will be asked to draw the circuit either by using the symbols or by using the actual diagram. Here we are drawing the symbolic diagram. So this is electric bulb. In this condition, the switch is kept open. So no current flows and the bulb will also not glow. If we close the switch, if we put the switch in the on position, then the current start to flow and the bulb should glow with some brightness. That is according to the amount of current. Right. Now what we are going to discuss, even the switch is closed. I am putting the switch in the on position. That is, the switch is closed. I do not find the glowing of bulb. The bulb is not glowing. Here we have the source of current, the switch is closed and the bulb presents. Even the switch is closed, the bulb is not glowing. That means there is some fault in this circuit. And what may be the possible reasons for the bulb, for the not glowing of bulb? And that possible reasons are, the reason for not glowing may be anything. We can find out the reasons. The bulb may be fused. Maybe, because we are not having any confirmatory, the indication, where is the fault? There may be the possible reasons. The bulb may be fused. It may be fused. Right. Fused bulb means the filament inside the bulb may get broken. Right? It may happen. The second one is, the cell may be discharged or weak. Cell may be weak. Right? And then the other reasons, the connections. The cell is connected with the bulb along with the connecting wire, and the cell is connected with the key with the help of connecting wire. While connecting these components together, there may be a loose connection. Right? Loose connection means it may not be connected properly. There may be loose connection. Right? And then we are taking these connecting wires. These connecting wires, which are, I told earlier that they are made up of copper wires. The copper wires are coated with some insulating material. See? While we observe that wire from outside, that it is continuous. But inside that coating, inside the rubber coating, the wire may be broken. If it is broken, then that also makes the open circuit, then the current may not flow through it. So, the wire may be broken. Wire may be broken. Right? So, these are the some possible reasons due to which the bulb is not glowing. Right? Even the circuit is closed, the bulb is not glowing. For this, these may be the reasons. If we rectify that fault, then again the bulb start to glow. So this is the basic of the electric circuit. Now we have completed the basic part of electric current and electric circuit. Now we have to discuss when electric current is passed through any appliance. We have so many appliances in our house or in many places. Mostly we are depending on the electric current. There are so many appliances. If we take the example, in our house itself, we have the cooler, AC, grinder, mixie, heater. During this time, during this winter season, many people are using the heaters, room heaters. So all these appliances are working with the help of electric current. That means we are passing electric current through that appliances. Suppose if we take any particular appliance, for example, that the iron box, the press, the device which we are using for pressing the cloth, that we call iron box. Or you can take the example of heater. Or if you can take the example of that water heating rod, any kind of appliance. Or you can take the mixie. If that appliance mixie is working for some time, if it is working for some time, it may be for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. After the work is over, when we touch the appliance, we feel that appliance become hot. In the same manner, every appliance become hot when we pass electric current through them. Washing machine, it is also working with the help of electric current. After working for some time, if you touch it, then it also become hot. So that means when we pass electric current through any appliance, they become hotter. This we call the effect of electric current. There are so many effects of electric current. But at this level, we are going to discuss the two main effects of electric current. One is, let me write the effects of electric current. Effects of electric current. Right? There are so many effects of electric current, but in your class, in your chapter, you have the heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current. Second one is magnetic effect of electric current. Magnetic effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current means what? When we pass electric current through any conductor, any wire, any appliance, the heat is produced. Suppose this is the wire. This is the wire through which if we pass the electric current, it becomes hotter. That we call the heating effect of electric current. Then magnetic effect means if we pass electric current through this wire, it will produce magnetic property around it. Around this wire, the magnetic property is developed. That is called magnetic effect of electric current. In the next class, in class 8th, you will study about the chemical effect of electric current. That is also one of the effect of electric current, chemical effect of electric current. When we pass electric current through any solution, any substance, its chemical nature changes. Chemical reaction takes place. That we call the chemical effect of electric current. That you will study in the class 8th. Here we are going to discuss about these two effects of electric current one by one. First, let us start the heating effect of electric current. The phenomenon of producing heat when electric current is passed through any conductor, any wire, any appliance. That is the heating effect of electric current. As I already discussed, that when we pass electric current through any appliance, the heat is produced. We have some appliances which are specially manufactured for getting heat only. That is another thing, that all the appliances produce heat on passing electric current through them, but some appliances, example, heater. The heater is manufactured for getting heat. Heater. Then the geyser, electric geyser, right? Geyser. It is used, it is made to get the heat, to heat the water. Then electric iron. You should say it is electric iron, but people are saying press. It is electric iron. Then you must know one of the component that is fuse. Electric fuse. It is mostly used in the electric circuits. Electric fuse. Right? So there are so many other appliances. Immersion rod. That is also used to heat the water. Immersion rod. So these appliances are manufactured for getting heat, specially designed to get the heat, more heat, right? So these are the appliances. Definitely they are working on the principle of heating effect of electric current. Heater is working on the principle of heating effect, all these appliances. But all these appliances are producing heat, but the amount of heat produced in these appliances is different. Heater is producing heat, geyser also producing, electric iron produces, but the amount of heat produced in these appliances is different. In some appliance, more amount of heat produced. In some other, less amount of heat produced. For this, we take the example of heater, electric heater. Heater, it may be room heater or heater used in kitchen, anywhere the heater is used. And you must have seen the designing of that heater. In that, there is only one component that is like a coil that we call the element. What is it? It is element. It is designed, it is made, it is formed in this way. This is element. Now these two terminals are connected to the plug from where the electric current passes through it and it produces the heat. This we call element. Right? This element, it is made up of an alloy. It is made up of an alloy. It is not a single metal. It is the mixture of metals. Alloy is the mixture of metals. Due to which this mixture of metals, this element is able to produce large amount of heat. Even the temperature may rise even up to 3000 or 2000 degrees Celsius. When the heater is working for long time, after the long time the temperature may reach up to 2000 degrees Celsius also. Even at that temperature it is not melting. It is not melting and it gives the heat constantly when the current is passed through it. This is made up of the alloy element. Okay, it is producing this much of heat. Now, if we take another heater, one more heater, and that heater is also connected to the same plug, that is another heater, it is also connected to the same plug point. In this, the supply is 220 volts. Here also the supply is 220 volts. To these two heaters, same amount of supply is given, 220 volts. But the amount of heat produced in these two appliances is different. One is producing large amount of heat and another one is less amount of heat. Why it is so? It is because that many factors are changing. This element is also made up of an alloy. This is also made up of an alloy. But still it is producing different amount of heat. So that means all the appliances produce different amount of heat according to some factors. There are so many factors which determines the amount of heat produced in it. Now let us see that the factors on which the amount of heat depends, amount of heat produced depends. That factors are, suppose I take, instead of this element, I take simple wire. Suppose this is a wire. It is copper wire. And another wire, iron. Right? Another wire, it may be aluminium. That all the wires are having different nature. When we pass current through them, all wires may produce heat. Definitely they produce heat. Even the heat may be less, small, but the heat will be produced. But if you measure, if the same amount of current flows through them, if we pass the current, some amount of current through copper, same amount of current through other two wires also, and for the same time that current is passed, same time, same current is passed through these three different materials, the different amount of heat produced. Therefore, the first factor is the amount of heat produced depends on the nature of material. It is depending on nature of material. Right? This is the first factor. First factor. Different materials, they produce different amount of heat for the same current, same time. Then the second one is, if we take the wires and these two wires, they both made up of copper. But if we pass different amount of heat, then also the amount of heat will be different. So different amount of current. So amount of current. If we change the current, different amount of current. Right? Okay.